Hey everybody, this is Chris Baker, the host of the podcast Tell Me Your Story. And today's special guest is Dom Wright. And we're going to get in this and we're just going to talk about, everything. We're going to cover his whole story from where it started all the way to where he's at now, the life trials, what he's gone through. And well, let's jump into this. Where does it take off for you? Where does it start?
Hey, Chris, thank you for having me today. Greatly appreciate it on this cold Northeast Ohio day. It's good to be here with you. Chris, my story starts off. I was born in 1985 in Cleveland, Ohio, and it starts with myself and my mom. She's a single mom, the two of us, and it starts and near downtown Cleveland, growing up in the projects, and that's where the journey and my story really begins.
And what just kind of like give us a little bit of insight. What was it like growing up in the city? Just in the suburbs, you said, living in the ghetto. Kind of explain what it was like just as a child growing up in that area.
Inner city living is a lot different, and I feel like it prepares you though and gets you ready for life because you have a lot of different experiences, and we had those experiences. My father was not around during this time as he battled some substance abuse issues for pretty much my entire childhood to I was about I would say around my early 20s. And living in the city, I saw a lot of different things growing up. Some not that good. I was around in an area where I live. A lot of drug activity, high crime rate. But that's where we lived, and my mom did a phenomenal job for being a single mother, and we made it work for us. And we were near downtown Cleveland, so I got to experience some pretty good things and see some things as well. Went to school in that neighborhood, and it really helped mold me and made me the person and man that I am today.
And that was gonna be my next question. Did it help you, what's your vision of what you want to do with your career in a way, or
I would say my experiences, especially as a kid growing up the way I grew up, it really made me want to be the best man, father that I could be one day. Because I didn't have that day to day male figure in my life, and my experiences, I always told myself when I have kids, I'm gonna be the best father that I can be to those kids and be there every day for them, see them every day, and do what's necessary for them. And um, it really, I felt, gave me the guidance and determination that I needed, believe it or not, that circumstance to be so much better. And, I have been, as, my kids they're young, but, I've been there every single day with them from birth and will continue to be that. And, I just want them to have, the opposite of what I had early on growing up.
so what a better way to put it? It gave you the fire, it gave you that motivation to do better in this life and to make more of a life for your kids.
100%.
And how is it going so far? How's the just kind of let's hear a little bit about that.
Kids or what? What do you want to hear
Yeah, your
about?
kids and just how the progress of it's going. I know because for some people it can
Yeah.
be challenging. Everybody says they want better for the kids, but kind of like tell us a little bit more how it's been, just all of it, the progress.
Um, it's been great. I love being a father. I love being there for my children every day. I mean, I told somebody the other day it's probably the best job in the world because it is a job, but it is the best job in the world. We're extremely close. I have two boys and a girl, and they're the light of my world. Two look just like me, and so it's amazing to see that, and, to know, like, those are my kids. And, I just try to day, everything I do is for them. They're my everything when it comes to my motivation, to be great, and to do for them and to provide things that I didn't have. And I want them to have those things. And I couldn't imagine a better job in the world than being a father and being those three dad.
Amen to that, especially saying that they look exactly like you. Them boys are going to be hearing it when they get it to the proper age. They'll be like, you look just like your daddy. I know how many times I heard that growing up.
Yep.
You're like the spitting image of your father. Like, oh, I guess so.
Hilarious.
But that is awesome, though, man. I'm glad that everything's going well.
Hmm.
Um, okay, we covered childhood. How was your high school? How was, school experience?
So, um, that's a great question. So, transitioning from, at this point we move. So we move from what's considered, like down the way, like near downtown Cleveland, and we move, more, like the south side of Cleveland, which is like the Kinsman, Union, Harvard neighborhood of the city. And we leave the projects, we get a house. And at this point, I'm playing sports. I'm pretty good at sports. I play baseball, I play basketball, I play football. And this is where I start to, have different mentors and people in my life. A man by the name of, Lee Stringer, sees something in me. And, he said, he's still in my life to this day. And he says, to me that, you should come play football for me. I coach at this, powerhouse school here in, the suburbs of Cleveland called, St. Peter Chanel, in Bedford. And, he says, I would love for you to come to, I'm in eighth grade at this point, and he says, I would love for you to come to a game and, and participate, be a ball boy, get to know the coaches, get to know the staff. And I go and meet like great people who I'm still friends with to this day, believe it or not. And we all decide, we're going to go to this high school, we're going to play football, we're going to get a great education. And this is where we end up going. And, um, it was a big culture shock for me when I got to my high school, because I went to a school K through 8 where every student in the school was Black my entire life. And, um, I get to high school and it's 70-30 the opposite way, where it's predominantly a white Catholic school here in Northeast Ohio. And for me, it was different. And not to mention, I have to catch two buses to get to school every day because, as I say, I'm still living in Cleveland, and I have to, I'm up at 5:30 to get to school on time, until school begins at 7:30. So I got 2 hour window to get there, be on time, be the homeroom. At this point, I can't wait for a buddy to get his license so I don't have to catch the bus to school. So, but again, this is a transition and some things that I needed in my life, because now I have teammates of different races. I'm meeting different cultures of people, which up until this point, I had not in an everyday setting or a team setting, or, even from a teacher perspective, different nationalities, different races of people. So now you get to meet, you get to learn people, learn different cultures, and it was great. And I'm going to a really good school, great at sports, and having to get up early is providing structure, providing discipline. I'm working out now because it's a high school regimen, from a sport perspective. So you got to lift weights, you got to cardio, you got to prepare for your season and play these games. And it was great, man. Great experience. I have like a ton of close friends of all races from, my high school that I still talk to this day. And, my 4 years there were great. And it's all from a guy seeing me ride my bike on my grandfather's street that lived there and still lives there and told me, hey, you're going to go to this school and you're going to, be good at what you do on the field and use that as a vehicle to one day pay for your education. And everything he said happened just like that.
Came to pass, yeah. Kind of like describe a little bit what it was like, going from an all black school to now you're getting a mix of it all. And how was that your first taste of that? Where did you have to change like how you talk to people? Kind of let's dig into that a little bit.
So I don't believe in changing how I talk, how I act around anybody. I'm always consistently myself. And I think anyone that knows me would genuinely, give a response to say that is absolutely true. So I didn't change any of that. But, I'm curious to learn and understand different races, different nationalities. So I probably, asked a lot of questions just to get an idea of how they were raised and, what was their upbringing and what's your background and, what sports have you played? And, at this point, I learned that, it's not that much of a difference in a lot of, it's just people are people. And a lot of people have experiences that are not that far off from mine that are opposite colors or different than what I am. And, I think it level sets and it really like puts things in perspective. Like you just can't judge or assume because somebody's, a different color or different nationality or whatever it may be, that they're way different than what you are, because it's just not the case. And, some of those guys that we played with and I went to school with, like I said, I still talk to and we're still close to. And, I'm very appreciative of those relationships.
And that's the beautiful thing about sports, man, is it develops that brotherhood that keeps you, like you said, you guys are still close to this day. And like that's how I
Mhm.
am with the guys I played sports with. It feels like it was just the other day we was out on the field playing. We
Yeah,
still had that bond.
I totally agree. I think sports is like a barrier breaker. And I just think it unites, it brings people together because you have to cohesively work together to, achieve the end goal, which is a championship conference title. And, if you do all those things, then you're going to have individual success as well, which a lot of us did. And, we could care less what color the man next to us was, as long as we're all striving and trying to achieve that common goal.
Did you ever come across any injuries in high school that you didn't think you were going to make it through, or?
I think the worst inch. So I played center in high school, so snapping the ball every play, right? And I'm a right-handed guy. And in our regional quarterfinal game, my junior year, I broke my snapping hand the first or second drive of the playoff game. And I remember my coach is like, "Yeah, you're still gonna have to play even if it's guard." And I'm like, "Well, I can just move. I can just snap with my left hand because I'm a pretty decently even-handed person. So I just snapped left-handed, believe it or not, for the next two games of the playoffs until we lost that year. And when it was shotgun, I just moved to guard. So my guard would move to center and do the shotgun snap to my quarterback, or if it was under center, I just snap with the left hand. But that was the worst injury I had in high school was my hand, and I think I missed a total of like I want to say 3 plays to get it wrapped and prepare to move forward as I did in that game.
And then once you started getting scouted, how was that? How was that experience? How were you feeling it?
It was great. It was a great experience, and I think I had mostly D2 looks, um, a few one AA looks, Division 3, but you are and then NAIA. So I decided that I wanted to try Division 1. So what I did was was called a preferred walk on. So you're not, for the people that don't know what that means, you're not on scholarship or anything like that, and they give you an opportunity where you're just not a walk on, you're a preferred walk on. So you get some different perks and things that maybe a normal walk on wouldn't get, but you're going to practice squads, you're lifting, you're working hard as you can. In my freshman year in 2004, I went to the University of Akron as a preferred walk-on. and was there for a full year and did not, they wanted to see one more year out of me to get a better gauge and understanding that I deserve a scholarship. And at this point, I had paid for school for a year, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to take my chances and go look at other options where I can get some money right away. And this is how I ended up at Malone University in Canton, Ohio.
And then like kind of like talk about a little bit like what helped you decide the career you wanted to go to? Were you like committed to football and you saw yourself in the NFL, or did you have like
Um,
the backup plan ready?
so I never wanted to be an NFL player, never looked at thinking I was going to be in the NFL, to be honest with you. I just looked at sports as a vehicle that I knew that I was pretty decent at it. It can assist me with paying for college, and that's what it did. I was able to go to Malone and have a lot of my education paid for because I played nose tackle. And at this point, I'm going there, in my opinion, very immature, not knowing what I wanted to do, just knowing, hey, I'm in college, I'm going to college. My mom won't have it any other way, so I got to go do this. But at this point, when I get there, this is my sophomore year of college. I don't really have a focus on what I want to do or really know what I want to be when I want to grow up. When I grow up, and I'm, 19, 20 years old at this point. So it came at me fast once I got there because I had to figure things out.
And just like talk about that a little bit. Like once you got there and you started like getting into those classes and learning more about
Yes.
what you wanted to do, kind of describe that a little bit.
So Malone is like a top-notch school. It is not easy by any stretch. It's a private small school in Southern Ohio. I mean, Canton's not that south, but it's still south. And you really, I got it was rough for me that first semester or two adjusting to being on campus and living on campus, and getting to class on time and really taking it seriously. Like, not saying Akron was easy or anything, but Malone was a little more difficult, and I had to really buckle down and kind of change study habits and change my approach from a school standpoint of really just doing my work and getting the help I needed from tutors and different things like that. And so after the first year, I was fine, but that first year, man, it was touch and go. I'm like, I don't know if this is the place for me or not. So that's to be frank with you. So, but I figured it out.
The way, like a better way to describe to the listener or watcher, you would say Akron University. To you, your experience was more like a laid back university. Wasn't really, would you say it like that or?
I wouldn't say laid back at all. Like, Akron's a great school, phenomenal school. It's just that, I think the smaller private institutions, it's just different experience. And it's a lot different from a public university that's big. And you have, I had classes with 120 people in them. And now I'm going to classes that have 13, 14 students in them. And it was just a big change for me being on a very small campus, and classes are ramped up now. I'm out of electives that I took that first year as a freshman, obviously, and now I'm getting into what my major is at this point, but not even knowing if that's really what I want to do or not. So yeah, I just had to adjust.
And then once you got into your second year, how did it go for that? Once you were
Uh,
adjusted to it and everything.
Things got much better, and I met another person in my life that's still there, that really I'm extremely close to, that um, really taught me a lot. Probably one of my favorite people. Her name's Julia Franklin, and she is just a phenomenal lady. And she from the very beginning told me, you have so much personality. You're so great with people, and you can talk to anybody. I mean, she's just told me that, you can be great at whatever you do if you just buckle down and get a little more focused. And she was in the business department there at Malone, and she still is. And she taught economics, and she just really took me under her wing, and because she saw something in me, and I'm very thankful for her because I do not believe without her in my life, I don't know if I graduate from Malone University, but because of her, I was able to, and I'm forever grateful to that lady.
And look at that, though. I mean, God was looking out for you in high school, and now here He is again doing the same thing, just putting these people in your life and blessing you. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, how does that feel? You know?
Um, I mean, I've always just been able to, just have great relationships with so many different people. And, as we telling my story today, those are two people that have just stuck out so far from, what we've discussed thus far. And I'm just grateful, man. And you can't ask, for anything more than to just being around really good people. And I've always been able to be around those type of individuals. And just super thankful that I've been able to be around individuals like that.
What would your advice be to somebody right now that's in the progress of graduating high school or in college, as you know, as we're talking, speaking? What would your advice be to that person that is
Um,
really unsure what they want to do with their life, or they don't know yet where they if they want to go to college or not?
I would say, um, wherever you're at, don't panic about it. Don't like worry or over worry or think, hey, I don't have a focus. I'm not locked in. I don't know what I want to do. It's okay because I've been there. I think it helps a young person to, have a mentor. I think mentorship is very important in life. And I think you have to be proactive as it pertains to finding a mentor sometimes. Like they just don't come up to you. Sometimes you have to go get them. And they help you with so much and keep you grounded and help you focus or maybe pull things from you that you're not thinking about that maybe can benefit you. So I would tell those individuals, don't panic, don't worry. Focus on maybe building some relationships with someone that can assist you on your journey, and things will work out.
Well said. And now, if anybody was wondering, how was your playing sports or anything? How was your dating life? What was that going? How was that going for you in high school and college?
Um, I would say in high school, I really didn't focus on it. Really just focused on um, sports and summer jobs. I had great summer jobs, making money, saving money. Those were my focuses. The only focus was lock in on the important things, and the important things were getting a scholarship, putting some money in my pocket the right way, and doing what you're supposed to do from a responsibility standpoint. In college, um, I would say, um, I didn't necessarily focus on that too much still because like I said, I'm coming in behind the eight ball, and I had to shift focus on school to stay in school, man. Because I'm telling you, I was almost that first year, I was close to probably being put out because of my grades. They were that bad. And I'm proud to say that because I'm not ashamed of it because it's a part of my story and my journey that I had to overcome. So the focus was on that and getting out of that hole I was in.
So once you finally graduated from college, how was that? Just coming where you came from to
Mhm.
graduate, and how did you feel in that moment?
I'm very proud because at that point in my immediate family, I was the first graduate. And if you look at my grandparents, my grandmother's siblings, and my grandfather's siblings, I was the second college graduate in my family because my cousin Denise had graduated, I think my junior year of high school, and she went back to finish school. So I was the second one in my extended family. So I was extremely proud. Everyone came. And it's funny because that professor I just told you about, who taught me about, credit and building credit and some things about money, and who helped me get my minor because she taught me one-on-one for 2 semesters so I could get an economics minor. She's a part of that piece before graduation, helping me with those things. Like, I'm telling you, from the beginning to the end, man, she was just there for me and huge for me. So big shout out to Dr. Franklin, because I truly, truly appreciate her, and she's very important in my journey. And she was at graduation that day, and was just so proud of me. I remember, along with my parents, um, and my sister, and just everybody that was there for me that day. It's a moment I'll never forget, because it was important not only to me, but it just made my mom so proud. And it just makes you, that at that point, reflect on everything that you've been through with that person, because it was just me and her. And like I said, my father wasn't around as that male figure, but again, I was thankful enough to have my grandfather, who's 93 now, be that positive male figure that I did have in my life. So he was there for me and taught me the things that are required of a man. So I'm extremely grateful to him as well. And to have him there that day was just gigantic for me as well. My grandmother had passed at that point, but to just see my mom, to see him, and to see my favorite professor, that I've ever had in life from a teaching standpoint, man, was just huge. Chris, it was huge.
And then once you graduated, how long did it take before you got into your job? How long did it take for you to get a job?
Man, so I graduate during the recession. Um, and that was tough. Could not find a job anywhere. I mean, could not find a job. I mean, I'm applying like crazy. So I graduated in December of 2009. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, December '09. So can't find a job. So I sold cars for a year, about a year. Was pretty good at that. Learned a lot about the industry, which was great. From there, did mortgages. Did not like that because I'm more of a um, people person. So, and that was all over the phone, and I did not care for that. So then I thought, okay, I'll go get my master's. So I went to work for a company where I sold cell phones and was really good there, but I didn't like the retail hours. And now it's December of 2010. And I said, you know what? It's been 2 years, economy's a little better at this point. So somebody says, why don't you apply to get into finance? Like, your major's business, economics, all this good stuff. So why don't you go do something with banking or something like that? So applied at Chase, and that's, as that's where I work now. And in January of 2011, started working at Chase Bank.
Kind of let's get into that. How was it once you got into Chase? Going from selling phones, selling cars, now you're at the bank working.
Yep.
Was that a huge investment for you, or was your personality so gifted that it just clicked?
It was great. And man, I'm saying my journey there has just been so amazing, Chris. To start in January of 2011, working in our branches as a banker, being able to be promoted to branch management, and then supporting region here in Cleveland area through business banking. And now, as the position I'm in now is a community manager. It's been great, man. It's been an amazing journey. I couldn't work for a better place, from a career support um, idea. You know what I mean? Like they really want you to be what you want to be, and they support you in doing that. I'm having great people in my life here. And, it's amazing that this year will be 12 years already. Because it seems like some days I just started, man. I'm telling you, like, and it's just been good since I've been here. And, I'm looking forward to continuing on that journey here.
What would you say is like been have you dealt with anything that's been tough, like a struggle at all, or has it been smooth the whole 12 years?
I would say, anytime, like I said, I've had four different positions. So I don't want to say necessarily a struggle, but when you have to learn new things, you have to buckle down, have a little more focus. So just transitioning to different positions here, it just takes effort and training and understanding and learning. And, I've done that at each position and been pretty successful in every role that I've had here. So it just shows, our training's top notch. The people that they have to prepare you for the positions really do a nice job. And again, just super appreciative of those individuals that have helped me along that journey here, and looking forward to continuing on that journey and doing great work.
They're listening right now. He's doing good, right? He's saying the right things.
I'm being sincere, man. True being sincere.
I know, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I know, I know.
But the progress of just um going from the position to position, was it tough? Was it like, or were you just able to just adjust to it real easily? And
I think you have to know how to pivot. You have to know how to um, really just jump in, because if you don't, success doesn't wait. So, and I want to be successful in whatever I do. So, I'm always, when I do get new positions, I want to know who are the top people doing that around me, so I can shadow, call, learn, get some teachings from them, so I can put it into my toolbox, my tool belt, excuse me, so I can use those same tools. And a lot of people here are approachable to tell you how they've had those successes. So that's really what I've done. And, this position I'm in now is a newer position. So I didn't really have that ability to do that. But the work we're doing in that current position I'm in is just so gigantic for the community and huge. Very appreciative of the opportunity to touch so many people in what I'm doing now.
describe a little bit how it was with your first taste, being in front of a crowd and just speaking about your company.
Um, Man, that's a great question. We have people that prepare you and prep you for that, but until you get out there and actually do it, man, um, and those lights go on, you're like, man, all that preparation and stuff. Now it's like, whoa, was I really prepared, or did I not prepare enough? I would say the first like big presentation I had, um, I was nervous, and I'm never nervous, but I was nervous that day. But after you do it a few times, Chris, it becomes easier and easier. So, um, now it's like, okay, it's just another conversation, it's just another presentation, and you learn as you go on, and you get more and more comfortable. And we have people that help you with that, things to say and don't say, and um, that's a good thing. So you go up there and you keep it where it needs to be and say what you need to say and go have a seat.
Kind of describe your training a little bit with the company and how the progress is and how they prep you to get ready for, just be able to do stuff like that and get you ready
Yeah,
for positions.
yeah, we have good people because they want you to be successful, right? Because if we're all successful here, that helps our company that we work for. And they put a lot into you, they pour into you. And what I like about it is there's a ton of career mobility. And if you're mobile and able to work in other states and things, there's a ton of different things you can do. And to be able to be at a company like that, is truly amazing. Where you can do so many different things because in banking, there's a lot of different lines of work that make up a bank. And, they consistently are letting us know what those different options and positions are if you want to go do them.
So do you travel a lot with the company? Do you have to, are you like in one spot all the time or you kind of
Yeah,
stay all
so
over?
so I support Northeast Ohio in my current position as a community manager. Really just connecting and working with local leaders, residents, like nonprofit organizations, excuse me, and really just working to support our unbanked, underbanked, and underserved communities here in Northeast Ohio.
Are we gonna see you on any commercials soon for Chase or
Uh, Not that I know of. I would love to do one. Have me though. I would love to be in one.
now, like if anybody's interested right now in joining the family, how did I get in? How did I get involved? How did I get in the Chase?
JPM careers. Check the site. Um, there's a lot of different positions and things you can do on there. And if you have questions, you can reach out to me, and I'll do the best I can, I guess, to help you navigate if you see something that maybe piques your interest.
And how did I get in touch with you?
I can get you that info offline.
Would it be, I'm gonna tell them right now, you could tell them over the,
It would be definitely through email connection. So, and Chris, I can get you that, and or however that works out, we can figure that part out. But I don't know if I can disclose on here, so I'm gonna be careful.
gotta play it safe. I got you. Um, okay, outside of work, where did you meet your wife? How did you meet your wife?
I met her in my junior year of college. Junior year of college.
And then it just like, can you want to kind of talk about that a little bit? Like, did it just
Yeah, I
you guys
mean,
just met?
you know, she saw me and she liked me. No, I'm just playing. We just started off as friends, really, and we're around each other, and then my junior year, we started to date, and it kind of went from there, and we have now been married 11 years, and we have 3 kids.
Nice. And did she
Mhm.
help you at all? Play like, did she play a big role in helping you, find Chase or in the career field at all?
Um, so it's funny, like the last position I had before working here, with me, coming and getting home real late because of the hours that I was doing. She was the main one. Like, you can't keep doing that because the hours are terrible. And I'm not trying to be alone all evening and whatnot. Like I need you, want you here. So she was really like the catalyst that kind of nudged me to go look and try to maybe do something else. So yeah, she was a part of that transition for sure, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, so how? I mean, are you busy with the company all the time, or you still have like the comfortable time that you get to be with your family a lot? How does that work?
Um, the position I'm in now, there's a lot of evening um, engagements, some weekend engagements, but for the most part, the work-life balance of this position is really good, which is awesome. So I don't get to miss, basketball or t-ball or, dances or dinners with the kids or anything like that. So I'm able to be a part of that and still do my job at a high level.
Has there been any challenges along the way that you have overcome, or
Um, you mean since being here?
I would say like with the family work, has there have you faced anything that didn't mix well, and or has it been
Um,
smooth sailing?
no, I would say early on, man, those first, few years of adjusting to being a parent and Um, there's the everyday things of transition and learning to now be a dad and take care of not just your spouse, but now you have kids. Now you have more kids, and you have to adjust and learn together. So you guys can be cohesive and do what's necessary for your family.
Kind of describe a little bit about your position and what you have to do on a daily basis.
Yeah, so man, it's an amazing job. I'm what's called a community manager, and I partner with a lot of great organizations. Um, I was one of the first ones in my position nationally, and really, as a community manager, we're really like a local ambassador for the bank, and we're nurturing relationships with small businesses, nonprofit partners at the neighborhood level. So we're in the community, doing a great job in the community to make these connections and to build trust and to provide resources and really to help accelerate access to financial health and really in our urban and larger Black and Latinx areas. And, we're doing this now nationwide. We even have community centers, 16 nationally. I have one of them in the city of Akron. And it's really focused on financial health and education and really focused on the underserved community. And, we want to take financial literacy and make that financial health for everybody that we're working with, and it's working. And I've been in this role now for a year and 7 months now, and we're definitely making differences and making an impact in our communities.
And how does that feel to you? I mean, just describing where you came from and everything, and to be able to give back and be able to make an impact in those communities, how does that feel?
It feels amazing because it's coming full circle. I'm working with people and working with families and that look like mine and feel like mine. And, there's no judgment when I'm talking or working with these kids or their parents or grandparents, because I've been there and I completely understand their perspective and where they're at. And to be able to assist them in a lot of different ways, and to know they have an advocate in me that wants to help educate and nurture and do what I can do to help them with whatever financial questions or needs they might have is truly amazing. And we're doing some impactful work. And I'm blessed to just work with great organizations that get it, and nonprofit leaders that understand what's necessary for our inner city communities.
And what would you say is like the biggest reoccurring problem that you come across and you feel like you really just need to adjust on it?
I just think it just this type of work just was non-existent. Like I remember being young and where I lived and the schools I grew up, my early school, we didn't learn about finances or financial health courses, and you know, and that's not a good thing. So you have individuals that are coming up in these communities that are graduating high school and have learned nothing in regards, learned absolutely nothing in regards to, um, financial literacy. And to be able now to be the person that goes in and, starting at potentially the sixth, seventh grade level with some of the stuff that we talk about is truly life changing, because now these kids are getting an idea of what financial education is and some do's and don'ts, some what wants and needs are all about, budgeting, savings, credit questions that they have now are being answered. And now when they get of age and they become 18, they can think back and know, hey, these are some things that I've talked about already with Dominic from Chase some years ago, and continued it throughout with different touches and things that we like to do as we move forward. So it's great to be able to be the person that is supplying this information.
Very well said. with everything coming up now, is there anything that are you allowed to talk about with Chase? Any big plans that are coming? Are you allowed to?
Um, I mean, I can speak on some big things that recently that I was able to partner with or do. So I can tell you about probably one of the most proudest moments of that I've had at the company happened last year. I partnered with Bill Horning and Reach Success, a group up in Cleveland that focuses on reentry. And through this partnership with him, myself and a colleague of mine actually go into some state prisons here in the state of Ohio, and we actually teach financial education to individuals that will be home in anywhere from 18 months. And it's probably one of the coolest things I did to be able to be a part of that and to actually go into um, a state prison and have open discussion about finances with individuals that will be home shortly, so they have a leg up and some understanding about things that they should or shouldn't be doing as they come home from a financial standpoint.
And that is like the coolest thing. I'm so like happy to know about that. They're doing that in the prisons. They're teaching the inmates, skills so that when they get back into back to regular life, they're not making the same mistakes, but they're better themselves. And that's awesome to hear that you guys are doing that right now.
Yes, it's truly amazing, and we're actually going to expand it this year to some more institutions and continue, that life changing work.
Do you guys plan on doing that with the younger crowd, like like the detention homes, or
Not 100% positive on that, but definitely something that I would be open to.
because I was just thinking now that popped in my head. I was like, man, that would be a cool idea too, if somebody were to
Really cool.
step into that and start getting them while they're younger. That way, they're not making the same mistakes.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. Outside of work, where's the greatest vacation you like to go? Where's your relax?
Anything that has a beach. I'm a big beach person. Love to go to the beach. I don't care if it's, here, somewhere else. Like when I say here, I mean in the country, out of the country. Just give me a beach and some sunglasses so I can sleep and not move and relax.
Working pan all the time, huh?
Yes, sir. Kick my feet up and not move.
Where have you traveled? What places have you been to?
Oh man, I have been quite a few places in my life. I have been to Italy. Let me think. I've been to obviously probably most people have been to Canada, Mexico, the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands, the Bermuda, Jamaica, Hawaii. It was awesome. I think I've been to a total of 31 states in the US. Um, trying to think, where else have I been? I think I'm missing a few actually. Puerto Rico. I don't know. They kind of start to run together some, but truly love traveling. With having three little kids now, most are beach vacations, which they truly enjoy. My kids are like water babies, so they like to be in the water. So we try to make sure we take those type of trips. But love to travel, love to go to different places and experience new things.
I think I got you beat by just one state. I've been to 32.
Okay. Okay.
Outside of the country, you got me beat there. I'll get there eventually, but so far I've been to 32. 32 of the states. I would say my favorite one was I would say North Carolina. Because
Okay.
I don't know, I think it's more because it felt so like because being from Ohio, it just felt so like Ohio. It just had that same feel, and it just made me feel at home.
Hmm. I think Italy is definitely by far the best place I've been to.
Can you kind of describe, what is it like in Italy? People that haven't been there,
Um,
including myself.
it was, man, it's probably an amazing trip, man. Just the history, of like I was in Rome, just the history of Rome, and the food was just, man, A1. The gelato was great. Very warm, which I like. I love warm weather. Like, and I'm listening to the wind outside today. Like, I need to be somewhere warm right now. But I just think from just the different structures there, and places that you tour and visit while there. Some of these structures are thousands of years old, and that's just mind blowing to me. And to just learn about how they had plumbing systems and heated pools, that many years ago, is just like, wow. So it was just a great place to go, and thankful that I've gotten to experience it.
Did you get to go to the Eiffel Tower?
Well, that's in Paris. I haven't been there yet. So,
Oh,
but
sorry. I'm all.
that's on my list. That's on my list.
Was the food over there kind of expensive or was it reasonable?
I would say wasn't that expensive. But I tell you what, it's absolutely phenomenal. So I wish I could like just teleport and go eat somewhere right now there and just come right back.
That's what I was thinking. Like you just talking about the rich history over there. That's just really cool though. Thinking about that, like having hot tubs and that whole idea of that, just the ideas that we all came up with before like technology became what it is now. It's just like it's kind of mind
Mhm.
blowing, you know?
For sure.
All right, as we begin wrapping this thing up, is there anything else that we haven't covered yet that you would like to talk about?
No, I think we hit on a lot. Um, if I could say anything to our listeners out there, man, I would just say be really intentional in life about who you have around you. Always keep and build great relationships with people, because that's what's really important as you go forward in life. And it's always um, amazing to have elite people around you that really will not just be a yes man to you, but tell you when you're wrong, but also let you know when you're right, and really support you, listen to you, and genuinely be there for you. So um, yeah, today was awesome.
Well, you kind of got me a little bit that I want to talk about real quick. A kid that's in the suburbs right now that's feeling like he has no way out. What is you? What's your advice to that guy or that girl?
Keep your head up, keep pushing forward, um, because you can create your ways out, and you never know who you're going to come in contact with, or who you may have in your life right now that maybe you don't know how that relationship can maybe blossom or grow bigger than what it is. And to just keep pushing forward, and don't give up, and keep working at it, and because there is a way out, and you just have to keep fighting every day to get out, and you can.
All right. And for the guy that just started selling cars, this doesn't have that great of a personality. What is your advice to that fella or that girl?
um, be great at the product that you do sell, and know it inside out, because that alone will help you um, do your job at a high level. If you're lacking in other places, be great at other things if you necessarily are not good at something else.
Well said. And then if anybody's wondering, how many cars did you sell?
I think at the end I was like probably like a 10 to 12 car guy a month. I mean, but it was still year one. But I definitely think if I had kept at it, I would have been pretty good at it, because my mentor there is really good too, and he's still one of my good friends. So, and he's probably one of the best car people I've ever met.
Well, Dom, it's been nice having you on to tell your story, man. I thank you once again. for allowing just to come on here and just tell your story. Learned
Chris,
a lot today.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me, and have a great rest of the day and rest of the weekend.
You too, man. Stay out of trouble.
Will do.
But all right, this is Chris. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in also telling your story sometime, feel free to message me. Other than that, I'm signing off. Peace.
Have a good one, Chris.